So let's begin part 4 where we finish our series by making a perfect car rig. This tutorial once for all will teach you how to properly rig any car in Blender. There are a few add-ons out there dedicated to rig cars, but almost all of them are paid add-ons and in most cases very expensive. But we are going to use a free add-on called Rig a Car, which I have been using ever since I have started rigging cars. The link to download it will be in the description. So to start rigging a car, the first thing that we need is a car model. I have provided 2 car models for you. The first one is the same that I used in the main forest project. It is already rigged. You can go ahead and check it out. The second car is this one that we are going to rig. You can find the link to download both of them in the description. It comes as a blend file, so open the blend file. Here is a point. We rig the car here and then import it into the main forest scene. Let's take a look at the car. When we want to rig a car, the first step that we need to take is to separate it into 5 different parts. A car body and 4 different wheels. And if, like in our case, that the wheels have brakes, we should separate the car into 9 different parts. Step 2 is to make sure the wheels part are separated on each side. If we select the tire, we can see they are not separated. That's because if we go to the modifiers panel, it has the mirror and the array modifier. So first apply both of them. Then press the forward slash key to isolate them. Press Tab to go into edit mode, press A to make sure everything is selected. Then press P and choose separate by loose parts. It means that every part that is not connected to the other parts will turn into a new object. And if we go into object mode to take a look, yeah, there you have them. So exit the isolation mode and now select the ring. First take a look at the modifiers stack. And yeah, it has multiple modifiers. So apply the mirror and the array modifier. And actually there is no need to apply the subdivision surface modifier. Now isolate the ring and here is a point. If we do the same process, I mean go into edit mode, press A to select everything, then press P and separate by loose parts, these parts will also turn into separate parts. And the result will be you should join them together again. But there is a better way. So let me go back before separating. Press numpad 7 to go into top view. Enable wireframe and make sure you are in edit mode. Select this part, press P and this time choose selection. It means whatever you select will turn into a new object. So let's separate the other parts. Select this part, press P, separate it by selection. Then this one, separate by selection. Let's jump back into object mode and take a look. Yeah, we have 4 different rings over here, which is exactly what we want. Exit the isolation mode. Then we have the disc and the brakes. They are fine and they don't need any adjustment. They are all separated parts. Now let's go through the parenting process. So press A to make sure everything is selected. Then hold down Shift, click on one of the parts to highlight it so that there is an active object. Now right click, set origin to geometry, so that every part will have its origin point in the middle of itself, and this is really important. Also right click and shade auto smooth. Then press Shift S and choose cursor to select it. Now press Shift A and in the empty add a plane axis. The size of it is just fine, but if you want to scale it up or down, don't press S. It will make some problems later. Instead, right-click and choose Adjust Empty Display Size. Drag the mouse to adjust the size of it. Scale it up or down. Now press A to select everything, and as you can see, this empty is the active object, which is exactly what we want. Press Ctrl P and choose Object Keep Transform, so that this empty will control the entire car. Now let's get to the wheels. So select this tire, press Shift S, but before that, press numpad 3 to go into side view. Press R to rotate. Any car that you choose, make sure the wheel is a perfect circle. Otherwise, you shouldn't use that car. because let me show you. If the car is not a perfect circle or it is not adjusted in place, after you have finished the rigging process, you will get some result like this. And obviously this is not what we are looking for. So make sure you pick a car that has perfect wheels. So select the tire, press Shift S, choose cursor to selected. Then press Shift A in the empty at the plane axis. Select the brake, which is this one. Shift S, cursor to selected. Then Shift A in the empty at the plane axis. So do the same process with the other wheels and brakes. So let's get over here to this wheel. Select the tire, hold down Shift, select the ring and also the disc. And finally, Shift select this empty to make it the active object. Press Ctrl P, choose Object, Keep Transform. So that this empty controls this wheel. Select the brake, Shift select this empty, Ctrl P, Object, Keep Transform. So this empty controls this brake. Now go ahead and do the same process for the other wheels and brakes. And if we give it a shot, yeah, works perfectly. Next up, we are going to rename the empties. This process is actually the most important part of rigging. I will tell you all the names and I will also put the names in the description. Let's start over here. Select this empty that controls the car body. Press F2 and rename it to my car underscore body. Now select this empty that controls this wheel. This is a front wheel and it is set on the left side of the car. So press F2 and rename it to my car underscore wheel dot uppercase F lowercase t dot uppercase L. FT means front and L means left. Then select this empty that controls the brake. Press F2 and rename it to my car underscore wheel brake dot uppercase F lowercase t dot uppercase L. Then get over here. Select this empty, rename it to my car underscore wheel dot uppercase F lowercase t dot uppercase R. R means right. Then this one, rename it to my car underscore wheel brake dot uppercase F lowercase t dot uppercase R. Now let's get to the back wheels. Rename this one to my car underscore wheel dot uppercase B lowercase k dot uppercase R. BK means back. Then this one, my car underscore wheel brake dot uppercase B lowercase k dot uppercase R. Let's get to the other side. This one, my car underscore wheel dot uppercase B lowercase k dot uppercase L. And finally this one, rename it to my car underscore wheel brake dot uppercase B lowercase k dot uppercase L. Now select everything, press M to move them into a new collection and call it my car. With them selected, just to be sure, press Ctrl A to apply the rotation and scale. Now we can add the rig. So select all the empties, then press Shift A. We should go to the armature. But here we cannot find what we are looking for. And that's when the Rig a Car add-on comes into game. So download the Rig a Car add-on from the description. Then to install it, go to Edit, Preferences. In the Add-ons tab, open this drop-down menu and choose Install from Disk. Navigate to where you have downloaded the add-on. Select it and then Install from Disk. Make sure to click on the hamburger icon to save preferences. Again, select all the empties, Shift A in the armature. Now we have the car deformation rig. If we add it, for each of the empties, a bone will be added. Now to access the Rig a Car add-on, press N to open the side menu. Here is the add-on. A quick tip here. If we select any other objects, we cannot see the Rigacar add-on anymore. So make sure to select the armature. And now all we need to do is to click on generate. But it is not working properly. The reason is very important. So let's go back before adding the armature. When you want to rig a car using the Rigacar add-on, you have to make sure the car is facing the minus y-axis. If you press numpad 1, this is the minus y-axis. Or you can pick it from the gizmo over here, the minus y. So right now the car is facing the opposite direction. To fix that, select all the empties, press Shift S and choose Cursor toward origin. And make sure the pivot point is set on 3D cursor. Then press R, Z 180. Now it is facing the right direction, as you can see. So press Shift A in the armature at car deformation rig. Make sure the armature is selected. Open the side menu in the Rigacar add-on, click on generate, and there you have it. Let's test the rig. Right now we are in pose mode, as you can see here. It is a mode to adjust the bones and armature, and we can only enter the pose mode when we select an armature. Any other object like mesh or empties don't have this mode. So make sure to press the car rig and go into pose mode. The shortcut is Ctrl Tab. This back bone is for the drifting. This front bone controls the front wheels. This one on top is the suspension system. This red one is the wheel suspension. And this one is for the wheel rotation. And let's switch the pivot point into individual origins. And finally we have this big bone, which is the root bone, and it controls everything. So let's jump back into object mode and start animating the car. To animate a car, we should make a pass, and to make a pass, we use curves, which in most cases we use a curve called pass. So press Shift A in the curve. Here we can see pass. Add it into your scene. Press numpad 7 to go into top view and press tab to go into edit mode. First, we should find the direction of the pass. So over here in the curve edit menu, there is a property called normals. If we enable that, we can see the direction of the pass. And we can of course increase the display size a little bit. So this is fine. So this is the direction of the pass. So press R, Z to rotate. Of course, we should set the pivot point on median point. Press R, Z, hold down the control key to rotate it exactly by 90 degrees. Then move it forward a little bit to adjust it. So the process is like this. Go to top view and select this vertex, which is the first one. Press G and move it forward like so. You can move it forward as much as you like. Select the second vertex and also move it forward again. Then let's grab the third one, move it forward, and if you move it to the right or left, you can make curves. And you don't need to worry about anything. You can always get back to it and adjust it. So here there are 2 points. First, you can select 2 vertices, right-click and choose Subdivide, so that you can add a new vertex between them. And second, you can select a vertex at the beginning or at the end of the curve. Press E to extrude it and make a new vertex so that you can enlarge the pass. These are all we need to know about the pass. Now let's attach the car to the pass. So select the car rig, press Ctrl Tab to go into pose mode, and make sure to select the root bone, which is this one. Then head over to the bone constraint panel and give it the follow pass constraint. And for the target, pick the curve. Now if we play around with the offset factor, we can move the car on the pass. But it is working the opposite. To fix that, enable fixed position. Now it works on the right direction. So if we increase the offset factor, here you get the result. And here is an important tip. When you enable fixed position, an offset factor of 0 means the beginning of the pass, and 1 means end of the pass. A very nice and handy feature. Then another tip. If we take a look, you can see that the car is not actually following the pass. You see the car is just facing forward and it actually slides on the curve. So to fix this issue, enable follow curve. And if you come up with something like this, you remember I mentioned when you use Rigacar add-on, the car needs to be facing the minus y-axis. So here we have the different axes. Simply just switch the forward axis into minus y. And there you have it. Now if you play around with the offset factor, you can see how the car reacts to the curve. Now it is much better. So now let's animate the car. Expand the timeline a little bit and make sure the CTI is at the first frame. Make a keyframe for the offset factor by clicking on this icon. Then move forward in time, let's say frame 150. Set the offset factor on 1 or whatever value that you like. Make another keyframe. Go back to frame 1, play the animation to take a look. Nice! Here there are some points. Right now the car has a Bezier type animation. It means it is slow at the beginning, then in the middle of the pass it gains some speed and will be faster. Then at the end it will be slow again and it actually stops. This is called the Bezier animation. To understand it better, in the timeline press A to select all the keyframes. Then press T to open the keyframes interpolation menu. Here you can see the Bezier animation. Well, for car animations, we basically use Bezier and linear. Let's switch it into linear. Linear means a constant speed all over the pass. It means the speed doesn't change at any point. It is mostly used for the car chase shots. And by the way, pretty soon I will upload a new series dedicated to a very detailed car chase animation. That will be an in-depth series of tutorials. Now let's adjust our animation. If you want the car to move faster, drag the second keyframe to the back. Now if we play, the car will be faster. And if you want it to move slower, drag the second keyframe forward, so that the car will be slower. As easy as that. So now let's add a ground plane. Press Ctrl Tab to enter the object mode, then press Shift A in the mesh, add a plane. Press S, Y to scale it up on the Y axis. Let's move it forward a bit. Then press S, X to scale it up on the X axis. And here is a very important point. Always make sure the ground plane is bigger than the pass. But right now it is not. So SY, scale it up, just to be sure. Then to have a better look at our scene, open the shading drop-down menu and switch the object color into random. Now to add some displacement and bumps, we should have more geometry for the ground plane. So go into edit mode, press A to make sure everything is selected, then right click, choose subdivide. Open the subdivide menu and set the number of cuts on 100. Now this is much better. Then go to the modifiers panel. In the deform, give it the displace modifier. Create a new texture, then click on this icon to go to the texture panel. You can also go to the texture panel from here. Set the type on clouds. It is not working properly, that's because we have scaled up the plane in the object mode. So we need to press Ctrl A to apply the scale. Now it is working properly. We want to have a tiny bit of bumps. So let's increase the size to 1.6 maybe. Get back to the modifiers panel. Here we have the strength. Let's decrease the strength to 0.27. Then right click to shade auto smooth. So let me switch back into material color. I guess this is better. Now we should make the car interact with the ground plane. So select the rig and in the rig car add-on, expand the ground sensors. Here we have a bunch of sensors for the wheels and the axle system. For all of them, pick the ground plane. There is a high probability that some wheels will be floating above the ground and some wheels will be dipped too much into the ground. Like in our case, that this wheel is floating above the ground plane. And to adjust it, this one is a back wheel and it is on the left side of the car. So let's find it over here. It should be BKL, which is this one. We can fix this issue by adjusting the minimum local Z and maximum local Z. If we play around with it a little bit, for example, if we decrease the maximum local Z, we can move it down a little bit. I guess now this is fine. Yeah, this is totally fine. So the value is 0.04. In most cases, we should of course apply the same value to the other wheels, 0.04. Now let's add a camera. So Shift A to add a camera. Let's get over here, press Ctrl, Alt and numpad 0 to frame the camera nicely in place. With the camera selected, go to the camera panel, open viewport display, set the passport out on 1. Then open a new window here. On the left side, press T to close the toolbar menu and disable overlays and also the gizmos. Scroll forward to have a bigger view. Now over here, select the camera and then shift select any part on the car. For example, this part. Press Ctrl P, choose Object, Keep Transform. Now if you press play, the camera will be parented to the car. And yeah, the car is interacting with the ground plane, but obviously we have too much bumps. Let's select the ground plane and get back to the modifiers panel. And here decrease the strength to 0.1. Now if we press play, yeah, this is much better. Or we can go even lower, 0.05. Now I like that. The next step is to adjust the steering wheel and also the wheel's rotation. So in the Riga Car add-on, click on Bake Car Steering. The numbers are fine, just click on OK. Then Bake Wheels Rotation and hit OK. And let's take a look. Yeah, it is working just fine, but here is a point. You may notice that the wheels are rotating backward. Well, that is an issue that every add-on that is supposed to rig cars actually includes. But don't worry about this. I will tell you how to fix this issue. Whatever you play around with the Riga Car add-on, you cannot fix this over here. But once we want to render our animation, in the render panel, there is a property called motion blur. If we enable that, nobody can ever notice that the wheels are rotating backward. So don't worry about it at all. And another important point, if you want to make any kind of changes like keyframes, the paths or anything else, first make sure to clear baked animation. Make the changes that you like and then bake again. So let's select the path, go into edit mode and make a bigger curve like so. After that, we can bake again. And there you have it. So everything is covered. Now we can import this car into our forest. But to make our lives much easier, open the forest scene, select the road, press Ctrl C to copy. Return to the car project, delete this ground plane, and over here, drop these into the My Car collection, and then also the camera. And then hide the My Car collection. Press Ctrl V to paste. It may come with some extra objects. That's because of the GeoScatter add-on. So to get rid of them, select the road, press Ctrl I to invert the selection, then press X to delete. Now unhide the My Car collection. And the good point is, we can select the path and move it to wherever that we want. So let's go into top view and move the car over here. Then rotate it like so. Then go into edit mode and adjust the vertices according to the road. And it should look kinda something like this. And of course, we should move it down. And you may notice that the path goes below the road. It doesn't affect the final result, but if you don't like it this way, enable the snap tool over here. Then go into edit mode, select the vertex, press G, Z and move it up. Once you do that, you will feel how it works. It snaps to the grid. I guess the rest is fine. Then make sure to disable the snap tool. Of course, to move them up, we actually didn't need the snap tool, but I wanted to move these vertices higher than the ground plane because later there will be an important point. Select the car rig. Now select the car rig and clear bake animation. For the sensors, pick the road. Then bake car steering and bake wheels rotation. Let's play to take a look. Too much influence. Obviously, we don't like this much effect. So let's clear bake animation and fix this issue. In the ground sensors tab, we have two axle sensors. One is for the front and the other one is for the back. For both of them, set the influence on 0. Let's bake and take a look. And this is the part that I like to mention. Since we have disabled the axle sensors, the car doesn't follow the road anymore. It follows the path, I mean the curve. And to fix this issue, we should find a way to snap the curve exactly on the road. So let's go back to the first frame and clear our baked animation. And again, enable the snap tool. Open the adjustment menu and set the snap target on face and also enable nearest face. Select the curve and go into edit mode. Let's start from over here. Now using these adjustments, if we select the vertex, press G, Z, move it, it automatically snaps to the nearest face, and which is a really handy feature. You can see it exactly snaps onto the road. And what could be better than that? Now let's select the car rig and bake the animation. Make sure you're at the first frame to take a look. This is called a perfect car rig with animation. Now we can import our animated car into the forest scene. So open the forest scene. First, to do Blender a favor, disable all the scatters. And also the other objects that you have inside your scene. Then select the road and delete it. Now in the car scene, select everything, press Ctrl C to copy. Return to the forest scene, press Ctrl V to paste. Since we have copied the road, the location, rotation and scale will perfectly match. Let's take a look at the wheels. They are a little bit above the ground plane. So to fix that, in the rear car add-on, first clear bake animation. And then here is another important point. We can go through the ground sensors and adjust them, but before that, let's give this one a shot. Select the rig, press G, Z, move it down a little bit, and yeah, it works. Now this is totally fine. And done. To get that cool looking camera angle, select the camera and go to the camera panel. Switch the type into panoramic. To get rid of this margin, increase the field of view to 200. The effect is just too much, so let's increase the lens to 23. Then just simply adjust the camera in place. And that's it. See you next time.